All right, we're going to go over some problems that are continuing with our completing the square. First one here is 2x squared minus 6 equals 42. Now the first thing that I can see that I can do is I can add the 42 or subtract the 42 over or add the 6 over. So I'm going to add the 6 over. That'll give me 2x squared equals 48. Divide by 2 gives me x squared equals 24. Take the square root of both sides. It gives me x equals, and now we have to break the square root of 24 down. I know 4 is a perfect root, or a perfect square. So if I do 4 and 6, square root of 4 is 2. That comes out in front. 6 gets left inside because it's not a perfect root. And so I'm left with plus and minus 2 root 6. This next one is going to want us to complete the square. So we take our middle number, the 9x, or the 9, divide it by 2, and square it. Nine divided by 2, we're not even going to actually do that. We're just going to square it. It's going to give me 81 over 4. And then if they had wanted us to write it, it would be x plus 9 halves squared. That's the binomial squared version. All right, next one. First thing I notice here is if I'm going to complete the square on this, I can divide everything by 4. Remember, you can't complete the square as long as there's a number in front of the x squared. So let's factor a 4 out of everything. Gives me x squared plus 8x plus 4. I could divide by 4 on both sides. It's going to give me x squared plus 8x plus 4 equals 0. Subtract the 4 over. X squared plus 8x equals negative 4. Now once I'm to this point, I have to complete the square. So I do 8 divided by 2 squared. It gives me 16. And I add 16 over here. This is going to give me x plus 4, because 8 divided by 2 is 4, equals 12. Take the square root of both sides. That cancels that out. I'm left with x plus 4 equals square root of 12. And that's a plus and minus. Subtract the 4 over. I get negative 4 plus and minus. Then if I break the 12 down, that can be a 4 and a 3. And I know that the square root of 4 is 2. 3 stays inside, and I'm done. Negative 4 plus and minus 2 root 3. Next one. Is there a number in front of the x squared? The negative makes it so that we can't complete the square right away. So we got to factor that negative out first. Because it's negative 1, x squared plus 3x minus 12. Let me see what the instructions for this one. Yeah, the instructions for this one are to put it in vertex form. That makes more sense. So the first thing I'm going to do is divide it off from putting it in vertex form. Now I can get rid of my negative, pull it out in front. Negative 1, then that's x squared plus 3x. Leave some room, plus 12. Now I do 3 over 2 squared. It gives me 9/4. So I have to subtract 9/4 from the backside. That's going to be negative 1 times x plus 3/2 squared. Remember, the 3/2 just comes from here. And then if I'm doing 12 over, I'm got to get a common denominator of 4. So that's going to give me 36 over 4. Sorry, 48 over 4. 12 times 4 is 48. 48 minus 9 gives me 39. That was a struggle. Plus 39 over 4. Now when it wants to know my vertex, it's the opposite side of this one. It would be negative 3/2. And then that one stays the same. Let's look at the directions for the last one here. I think it's exactly the same thing. Solve by completing the square. That's what that one is. So let's complete the square here. We do 2 over 2 squared. That gives us 1 squared, so it's x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 3 plus 1. We added 1 to this side. We have to add 1 to this side. Then that's going to give us x plus 1 squared over here equals 4. Take the square root. Get x plus 1 equals, the square root of 4 is 2, so plus and minus 2. Subtract the 1 over. Negative 1 plus and minus 2. Negative 1 plus 2 is 1. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. And those are my two answers. All right, let's do one more. This is a vertex form one as well. So let's write this in vertex form. Break it up. Pull the 3 out in front. Gives me 3x squared minus 8x. And then plus 15. Now remember, whenever you have a number out in front of here, that's going to change what we have to add to the backside. So we have negative 8x. Let's divide that by 2. That's negative 4 squared, which is positive 16. But remember, in order to figure out what we're subtracting back here now, it's really 3 times 16. 3 times 16 is 48, so we have to subtract 48 from the backside. So now it's going to be 3 times x minus 4. So we got negative 4 inside of here. Then 15 minus 48 is negative 33. And so now we're in vertex form. Vertex would be the point 4, negative 33. All right, that's it for today. I'm going to give you an IXL assignment to do tonight. Then we'll move on to a new section on Monday.